Hey guys, Dov here with some more Total War Warhammer 2 multiplayer action. Today we've got a beautiful replay, Flying Taco going up against Falcon. For those of you who missed it, I streamed my Patch Day tournament on the Total War official Twitch channel. I'm not 100% sure if there's a VOD up of it. I believe there is, but if so, I'll go ahead and post a link in a pinned comment down below so you guys can check that out. But yeah, this is a game from that tournament. Flying Taco here taking the Empire, led by Balthazar Gelt against Falcon's Imric. So definitely looking to be a good match. Absolutely. We've got 3 war wagons up front. Many of you playing ladder over the last few days will have definitely run into these guys. Some people are complaining about them being OP. I think it's a little bit too early to say with most things. I think there are some things that are pretty clearly overtuned. And I'll talk about that in a later video, but war wagons, I don't know, I think it's a little bit too early to say whether they're that OP or not. They are only 50 speed, so they can be caught by a lot of units. But here, they're going to be counter-shooting against Falcon's Illyrian Reaver archers. He's got some rangers and spearmen up front. 3 dragon princes, one of them being the Fireborn, I believe, yep, Imric and a Life Mage. So a very cool thematic build with the Dragon Prince Lord on his dragon, leading a bunch of Dragon Princes. Absolutely beautiful, under the banner of Calidor as well, which I have to say, the Dragon Princes, I mean, the Fireborn fit in perfectly with this roster. Like, look at the difference between the regular Dragon Princes and the Fireborn. Like, it's just got some extra little accents in the Flaming Lances, but honestly, they work so well with this roster, very appropriately. As for the rest of the Empire army, besides the war wagons, we've got 2 Demigryph Knights, just the Lance variant for more cost-effectiveness, 2 Empire Knights, some Spearmen, Sigmar's Sons, and Great Swords in the center, some more Swordsmen, and yeah, Balthazar plus a Jade Wizard just with Earthblood to heal the war wagons and demis. Balthazar rocking Plague of Rust, Searing Doom, and Final Transmutation, all of which are going to be very good against these Dragon Princes, either hitting them directly or debuffing them. So let's see how they do. Definitely going to be a very interesting game. 2 very, very strong players here, and the Dragon Princes look to be coming in the front line. They're going to actually potentially feint and then decide, no, let's go ahead and charge here. This exposed swordsman is probably the most vulnerable unit, so a quick hit and run. They can get out of dodge and then replace with the spearmen. The Rangers also following up. They should trade okay with the Empire State troops. The Sigmar's Sons will be a little bit tougher, absolutely, but a nice Overcast Final Transmutation being put on the Dragonborn here, and Falcon very wisely pulls the other Dragon Princes away, pulling these Dragon Princes away as well as the Demigryph Knights are kind of cycle charging there. Bit of bait and switch, very nicely done with the Earthblood to respond to the Final Transmutation as well. It already has stripped away quite a few models, which is not great for the Dragon Princes, but honestly, all things considered, Falcon was able to manage the damage from that Overcast Final Transmutation very well, and that is quite a bit of Winds of Magic. A beautiful Breath attack as well, hitting those Demigryph Knights, nice high-value target, and since there's not a lot of high-value single entities here for the Star Dragon to try and breathe on, the Demigryph Knights are the next best thing, and direct charging them too is also the right call. That way they can't countercharge you on the ground. Taco also doing the right thing, kind of pulling his Demigryph Knights back, getting a nice heal, also hits these war wagons as well, and it looks like we're going to have a regrowth on the Fireborn here as they're fighting these Demigryph Knights and Empire Knights. Demigryph Knights charging in. A beautiful play and counterplay here by 2 very strong players, and yeah, two really good factions as well. High Elves, I'm kind of coming around to the High Elves as, you know, their roster gets filled out a little bit more. I'm not the biggest fan of the, like, single entity play. I know certain other people are. Like, Falcon really likes his dragons and stuff, but he's not one to even, like, healing blob, you know. But, anyway, Knights countercharging in here. I'm just a big fan of the Elf Cavalry, mostly. You guys know me, I'm a Cavalry guy. And the Elf Cavalry is actually pretty cool. I'm gonna be honest. The Lions also are a very cool addition, and Imric is probably my favorite High Elf Lord, lore-wise, and just in terms of design and aesthetics. So yeah, I'm actually coming around to the High Elves for the time being, and so 2 great factions. Also the color schemes here, Empire and the Knights of Calidor here, look like they could be on the same team. I mean, they're both, what, white and red with gold accents? So yeah, I was saying on stream, and I'll let you guys know here as well, I do want to get a 2v2 where Kalidor and Empire team up to take on some baddies, but for the time being, in this tournament game, it's going to be these two factions fighting each other. We can see here the Dragon Princes of the Fireborn here getting a little bit overextended, although they are doing a lot of damage to these Demigryph Knights and Empire Knights. That is allowing them to be kind of countershot by these War Wagons. War Wagons are going to generate some great value shooting at these high-value targets. Right now, they haven't really generated too much value. They've been kind of shooting just whatever, being on fire at will, which is definitely the right call. With a good amount of ammunition, you want them just spending their ammo the whole time, right? And here they get a really nice situation to shoot at basically a saturation of high-value targets, so even if they miss something, they'll hit something else that's expensive. That's just a great situation for the Empire here. Reavers trying to push through and interrupt, but at the same time, because of the Demigryph Knights, Empire Knights, Spearmen over here kind of securing the War Wagons, Belkon can't push back and get at them with his Dragon Princes, so he has to kind of pull back, try and clean up this front line area. The Rangers definitely helping with that. They're going to eat a rear charge here from these few Demigryph Knights. Thankfully, Demigryph Knights, because of their low model count, even if they only have a few models left, they can still come in and do a lot of damage. Well, the Rangers actually took one down there. That's pretty impressive, all things considered. Over here, these Demigryph Knights also cleaning up some Rangers, so great play on both sides. Empire slightly ahead right now, but Belkon with his dragons never down and out here. More Rangers rushing in, and the Dragon Princes are the main issue here. They're just getting really low on HP. He's managed to decisively win the cavalry fight. There's not really much left. I mean, I guess there's a handful of these demis, and this one in particular here is pretty healthy, but very nicely done pulling these Dragon Princes back, and they utilize the healing of that Life Mage. Dragonhorn also active, so these High Elf Infantry can make a little bit of a push here, try and deal some damage. Balthazar trying to get involved, but quickly realizing, yeah, I need to get back up in the air. Balthazar is actually not the worst combatant as far as casters go. 70 charge bonus in particular on his Pegasus is not bad. If you get a good Plague of Rust, he can charge certain things, but definitely don't want him in sustained combat for any length of time. War Wagons pulling back here. And yeah, as I mentioned, some people are probably saying that the wagons are a little bit OP. I think because of the low speed, they can be caught, but I mean, this is two very high-level players facing off against each other, and both players making a lot of good plays so far, and you can see balance of power is in Empire's favor, absolutely, but it's definitely not out of the realm of possibility for the High Elves to win here. Great isolation, getting these two Demigryph Knights caught out, and just, oh man, it just got finished off. I think that unit's completely wiped out. One splash attack from Imric finishes the day. And unfortunately, these War Wagons still do have a little bit of ammunition left. You can see finally they're able to get an XP Chevron after having been firing sustained for quite a long time. Belkon's been able to mostly screen out the ammunition except for a few kind of key times, and this is one of them where the War Wagons have a pretty clean shot. They only really have Imric or these Dragon Princes to shoot at, so it's definitely a good situation for the Empire. Dragon Prince is going to go ahead and just mop up these spears, try and push through and get on some of these other targets. If they can catch those War Wagons, that will be ideal, but the consistent pressure on Imric, just keeping him pushed back and not allowing him to get close, really proc a terror route or get some good work done. The thing is, though, they can just sustain the last of the ammunition here. I say that, there's still quite a bit of ammunition left on the tooltip here, but because of the way the ammunition works for the War Wagons, they'll expend it pretty quickly. But, we'll see. At this point, things are definitely not looking great as the continuous pressure comes, and that's really one of the things the War Wagons gives you, is mobile continuous pressure, and they're definitely tankier than something like Pistoliers. The slow speed is definitely a problem, though. You get them caught out. I have a couple times myself. It can definitely get taken out pretty quickly, but here, Taco did a great job of just using his resources to kind of block, and you'll see at the end here, the Demigryph Knights honestly didn't get all that many kills. Like, they had some okay engagements against the Dragon Princes, but largely they did not pay for themselves. Instead, they and the Empire Knights were kind of sacrificed in many situations to just hold back the Dragon Princes, allow these War Wagons to get the work done. They finally, once they're out of ammunition, charge in here and proc a rear charge penalty that allows the victory. So, beautiful game, probably one of the best games I've ever seen, to be honest. Just great play and counterplay on both sides, both players just scrapping to the absolute finish, and the fact that it was the buffed War Wagons that kind of carried the end there, just makes me happy on so many levels, just considering how bad they were when they came out. So, yeah, wagons better than dragons, apparently, at least in this replay, but how about those Dragon Princes, man? 110, 63, 63... Gotta be some of the best Dragon Prince play I've seen in a while. 94 for Imric as well. The Rangers even cleaned up pretty well in the front line. 66, 43, 79. From an army selection standpoint, I mean, I definitely get bringing the Illyrian Reavers. I know why Falcon did, but personally I probably would have maybe changed that out for something else. I don't know. 700 points really doesn't go too far with the High Elves, so it's hard to say. But I love the build, absolutely, and the execution was just about there. So unfortunately, the War Wagons were a little bit too much. Balthazar plus the Jade Wizard as well were able to kind of avoid any kind of sniping attempt and just stay mobile, stay regenerating those Winds of Magic. And yeah, you can see here, like I said, the Demigryph Knights, they got some okay kills. Empire Knights, not really, but just being used to kind of block the Dragon Princes wherever they went and allow these War Wagons to get their work done. 82 kills on the Great Swords, not too bad as well. They did pretty well in the front line. It was nice to have that kind of anti-infantry to hold up against this more lighter High Elf front line. But anyway, big thanks to you guys. It's been really awesome. This early access time period has really strengthened the channel, and it's been a huge boon, especially given the circumstances. So a big thanks to everyone for that. A big thanks to CA, of course, for allowing me the early access. By the time you guys are seeing this, I mean, I've been talking about the live patch already. It's been live for a few days, but let me know how you guys are enjoying it in the comments down below. And yeah, thanks again for watching. If you want to subscribe, hit that bell notification button, give a like and share, greatly appreciate it, and we'll see you next time.